In this video, we will talk about OSI model and TCP/IP model. The first one we will talk about is OSI model, which it is Open System Interconnections. Is a conceptual model that's created by International Standard Organization, which is ISO, that enables different systems or devices to communicate with each others using a standard protocols. It means that each layer on OSI model need to use specific protocol on specific layer between two computers or more, or using two devices or more. This OSI model has 7 layers, which we will talk about them in this video. The second one we will talk about is TCP/IP model, which is kinda of OSI model, but there's some layers are combined into one, because they see how it suits to the internet standards protocols, and those layers are fit into one combined layer. Some models says 4 layers that it has in TCP/IP model, and some says that they have 5 layers. We will discuss in this video. In this page we have the 7 layers. I will introduce you one by one from the bottom layer to the top layer. The first one we have the physical layer. Normally it's talking about wires, traffic, like the network media that we talked in the last video, and it's mostly used as bits, like zeros and ones. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. For example, like we have 10101010 is an 8 bit, which means it is 1 byte. The second layer is data link layer, in which it uses bits as frames. For example, we have multiple of bits into one box. That's what's called a frame. Data link layer uses for error checking of the bits in the frame synchronization, and flow of the data. And it uses MAC addresses, in which it is unique address that uses in many devices in the world. For example, a hacker can hack you if that person knows your MAC address. So be careful to not give anyone your MAC address, except in some cases. The third layer is network layer. It uses packets, like for example sending packets to your neighbor. It uses IP addressing to send these packets through the internet using a router. And it might be familiar to most of you in the home, which uses 192.168.1.1. One important thing to remember that network layer uses router device because it's using IP addresses, and data link layer uses switch or bridge device because of its MAC addresses, and physical layer uses hub device. The fourth layer is transport layer. It uses segments, which means like pieces of packets. In the network layer, it sends the packets to other routers or to computers, but it doesn't care if it reaches to its destination of everything inside it. In this transport layer, it cares, and we have TCP and UDP as protocols. I'm not going to discuss the difference between them, but I will give you example of TCP is a connection oriented, like watching a video on YouTube or downloading a file from the internet. On the other hand, UDP is like watching a streaming, like in Twitch or YouTube Live, which it is connectionless. The fifth layer is the session layer, in which it establishes, synchronize, and terminate connections between computers. The sixth layer is representation layer. Uses formatted representation, translation data services, data compression, decompression, encryption, and decryption. For example, I'm using an audio as MP3. The other computer needs to have the same format of an audio to open the audio, and it cannot be used as text file, for example, to open an audio. Another example in this layer uses compression, like WinRAR or zip file. To reduce a large file, for example, we have 10 gigabits file. By using a compression, it can be, let's say, 5 gigabits, for example, to send a file. The last layer is the application layer, in which it provides access for users, like using websites or using an email. Some important protocols like HTTP, using for websites, and FTP, which is file transfer protocol, uses for transferring file through the network, and others like Telnet, TFTP, and SSH, and more. Like the first four layers, which uses bits, frames, packets, and segments, the session, presentation, and application layer uses data. I'm gonna fast explain you about encapsulation and decapsulation using an OSI model. Encapsulation, it's like a big box that you put all these layers into this box and set it to the medium, like copper cable or Wi-Fi, and decapsulation is like opening the box and every layer goes to its own layer. One important thing to remember that the first three layers are hop to hop and the last four layers are end-to-end communication. If you are a computer network, you need to memorize those layers. In here, we can see that application, presentation, and session layers are combined into one as TCP/IP model. As I said, it's the same model, it's just combination into one because it uses data, right? Like we said in that page. TCP/IP uses four layers and it is the original. Then it got updated with network interface and uses data link and physical layer like an OSI model, as well as internet layer to the network layer. I hope this video make you see how the difference between those layers and understand those layers. Thank you for watching this video. Please like the video if you like it and don't forget to subscribe. I wish you all the very best and see you in the next videos.